Alright, I'm back continuing on with part two of my most disturbing movies that I've seen, that I have in my collection. Continue with Cannibal Holocaust. It goes without saying, this has been on a few people's lists that I've seen. It's filled with, obviously, cannibalism, real animal killings, which is actually the most disturbing part to me. The movie also poses the question, who are the real cannibals? The so-called civilized people like us who live in cities and have things like electricity, or these tribes people? Pretty interesting question. Sometimes it seems like it's a bit forced, but highly disturbing movie, especially the animal killings, at least for me, because I love animals. I'm kind of a hypocrite because, yeah, I eat meat, but, I don't like seeing animals get slaughtered. It's pretty hard for me to watch that. To me, that was the most disturbing aspect of it, because animals really got killed in this. They didn't use fake animals. And there's no disclaimer at the end, obviously, saying no animals were hurt in the filming of this movie, because that would be a lie. But anyway, that's Cannibal Holocaust. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because everyone knows it. Next up is one I forgot I had for a while. It's Confessions of a Trick Baby. This is also known as Freeway 2. Very expensive to get on U.S. DVD. It's been out of print for a while. It goes for about $60 to $70 on Amazon. It's basically a modern take on the Hansel and Gretel story. Basically about Natasha Lyonne's character, known as White Girl, by her co-star known as Cyclona. They escape this prison that they're in. Cyclona, her friend, is a lesbian serial killer. She actually gets off on killing people, literally. The first place they escape to after they escape the prison that they're in is a house owned by these two old people. Of course, spoilers, Cyclona kills the old people in their bed, and she proceeds to pleasure herself in the bed with the two dead old people. So that was a pretty disturbing scene. And basically what they're trying to do, or what Cyclona is trying to do, is lead her and herself to see Vincent Gallo's character. He's known as Mother something. I guess they're supposed to meet up with him for some type of help, some type of assistance of some sort. But it turns out Vincent Gallo's character, the mother character, is not what he seems to be. I'm not going to spoil it. This is just another one of those movies that needs to be seen to be believed. It's got one of the best projectile vomit scenes I've seen in any movie at the beginning when the girls are still locked up. But this is highly recommended. Again, it's hard to find, but if you can find it, I would definitely check it out. Really a strange, fucked up movie. Next is Island of Death. I talked about this in one of my updates recently. Not going to go into too much detail. I mean, there's everything from bestiality, incest, which is kind of a spoiler, but a bunch of other things, obviously murder. And one of the best things about this movie is the commentary, because the director just straight up and down says he made the movie as shocking as possible, as fucked up as possible, basically, for the money. And he literally says that, which I thought was fucking amazing. Anyway, next up we have Night of the Hunter, and this is a movie I don't see a lot of people talking about. I don't hear anyone talking about. It's basically about this preacher, or this guy posing as a preacher, stalking these two young kids. And he's stalking them because he knows that they know where this $10,000 is. Obviously, he wants the money. And so he goes looking for them. He asks around town and leaves a bunch of dead people in his wake, basically. Extremely fucked up when you think about the subject matter. And considering when it was made, like 1955, way ahead of its time. And again, a movie I don't hear a lot of people talking about, but a movie that needs to be seen by more people, I think. and I think it's highly influential for a lot of different reasons that I don't have enough time to go into, obviously, but definitely check this out. Really disturbing movie, again, considering the subject matter. So, yeah, next up we have The Baby, basically about this grown man acting as a baby. There's really not much more to it than that. Another movie that you gotta see it to actually believe it. And seeing a grown man act like a baby in some diapers is about as disturbing as it gets. Don't have time to go into the plot, unfortunately, but check it out. Next is Inside, another one that needs no introduction. Basically a crazy lady trying to take another woman's baby from her. I'm guessing like the ultimate pregnant woman's nightmare. Someone trying to take their kid that ain't even been born yet. It doesn't get much more fucked up than that. And this is extremely brutal. One of the most violent movies I've ever seen, period, probably. And you'll never look at a pair of scissors the same way again. So. And next up we have Eraserhead. One of David Lynch's, I believe it's his first film. From what I understand, it's basically his response or his way of expressing his feelings towards the birth of his first child. I'm guessing that's what it was. I remember reading that somewhere at some point. But yeah, it's really strange. It's the best way I can put it. I mean, if you know David Lynch, you've probably seen this already. If you're not into his work, this is probably where you should start with his work, because it is very surreal. It's another one of those movies that's like a dream/nightmare. But next up, moving along, we got Sweet Movie. This is a movie I bought. It was a blind buy. Didn't know what it was about. I read reviews after the fact, but watching it, and there's a lot of really disgusting stuff in it. There's some Salo-esque stuff in it. Like there's a dinner scene with a bunch of people where they're literally like eating human feces, spitting into each other's mouth, throwing up at the table, pissing on each other. And there's another storyline where this woman kind of gets passed around. I guess she's like a sex slave. I don't know what she is, but there's a scene where she gets stuffed into a suitcase and, shipped around. There's a scene where she's with this old guy. I guess she's there to pleasure him, and he pees on her, and it's just all fucked up. And then this character is a woman. She lives on a boat. And there's a sailor that's kind of attracted to her, so he goes on the boat trying to, I guess holler at her or whatever and sleep with her. But it turns out she's really a serial killer. But I'm not going to say who she kills or how she kills or whatever, because that's part of the story, I guess. But this is another one of those movies that needs to be seen to be believed. Extremely fucked up. Again, I bought this with no knowledge of what it was at all. So I'm glad I picked it up though. Next up is Girl Next Door, and I had to put this on here like The Chosen One had on his list of disturbing movies, just mainly because it's inspired by actual events. The level of depravity, just like Salo, that human beings can stoop to. The fact that a woman and a bunch of neighborhood kids took part in the torture and eventual killing of this girl, and none of the kids did anything about it, except for one that actually wanted to do something about it. And when you think about it, when he actually, tried to make his move and do something to help her, he was in almost just as a bad a position as the girl. So I don't know. It's a movie that makes you feel, trapped, I guess, and pissed off and depressed all at the same time. I couldn't believe what I was watching, honestly. And just the fact that it was based on a true story just makes it that much more disturbing. And to me, this is a movie that belongs on this list of disturbing films. And it was a no-brainer to put it on there. Next up is Martyrs. I'm not going to go into it because I'm running out of time, but anybody who knows about this and has seen it will understand. And last up, Blue Velvet, David Lynch film about this guy finds a severed ear, wants to find out more, ends up investigating, thinks he's a detective, and ends up in a world of shit, basically. Dennis Hopper's character in this movie is incredible. He was so good in this movie that I swear if I saw him in person, I'd probably walk the other way. Not only is this one of the most disturbing movies I've ever seen, but it's one of the best movies I've ever seen, period. And that pretty much wraps up my list for now. And I guess I'll see you guys later.